Hey guys, welcome back. It's me, Devaraj. I want to continue today expanding upon this subject of taking responsibility for our life. I looked earlier on at certain areas of your life where you can step up, where I've been trying to step up and take more responsibility. And I want to talk today about taking responsibility for your past. Because, if I normally said to someone like, you need to take responsibility for your past, they'd be like, what the fuck are you on about, man? The past is the past. It's happened. It's gone. How can I take responsibility for it if I can't change it in any way? But this is actually not true in many ways. If we really start to break down what the past really is, the past essentially, as I see it, is mostly it's a series of stories you tell yourself about stuff that happened to you when you were younger, essentially. And, all the memories is just stuff that's stored inside your brain in what they used to call the kind of unconscious mind in the old days of psychotherapy. And when you access that, you have certain stories and ways that you reflect upon the past. And for this, you can take responsibility. You can take responsibility in two ways. One way is to not use stories to make yourself a victim. Often I have clients that I'm working with and they're like, I can't really change because, my mum never loved me when I was a child. I can't change because my dad just never gave me any appreciation or love when I was a kid. He was always on my case. I can't really succeed because of that. I haven't been given a nurturing upbringing. What a heap of shit. What a heap of shit. You're just making a massive, great excuse out of your childhood to not take responsibility for your life. So look at the stories you tell yourself relating to how you are now, relating to the past. And there's nothing wrong with saying, my mother was not so loving to me when I was a kid, or my dad was always on my case and he never really appreciated me when I got something right. But that doesn't mean that you have to make yourself a victim going into the future. It doesn't mean you have to make yourself a victim going into the future. So you've got to watch out for that stuff with the past. The second way that you can create change is by doing bioenergetics, because as you get the repressed emotions from all the negativity in the past out of your body's muscle system, essentially what happens is the stories you tell yourself start to change. The stories you tell yourself about the past start to change. The way that we focus on the past starts to change. The key elements that we focus on, firstly, there's denial sometimes. There's denial to a certain area of our life, perhaps, where bad stuff happened. As the body starts to open up, sometimes the denial goes, but you get a huge focusing on that area, and you become preoccupied with it. You see the world as being really busy with it as well, or whatever. But as you start to clear that out, so that focusing goes, the bad stuff that happened to you when you were a kid was just stuff that happened. It no longer has that emotional charge underneath it that's kind of driving your behavior in certain ways. So if you want to really step up and take more responsibility, you need to be doing bioenergetics daily, or at least 5 times a week for like 20-30 minutes a day. And over time, it will remove all this charge in your muscle system, which is causing your brain to look at the past in a certain way, or just avoid it straight out, or just look at it in a certain way. Relating to my second point, I want to say also, how often it happens is that, yes, there is a huge charge due to some event in the past. Say, for example, dad always being super harsh and critical and never really appreciating you when you got something right. But how that becomes manifest initially is us seeing the world as being dominated by evil men who don't really give enough appreciation, and we're driven to kind of protest against that. And then when we become more aware of the personal dynamic, it's like, whoa, actually that stuff's going on inside of myself. And there's still a heavy focusing on that issue. As you start to clear it out, as you start to get the repression out of the body, you get the charge out of the muscle system with bioenergetics and a daily practice, that focusing on that area of your life diminishes. You no longer become so preoccupied with it. Okay, guys. So there's 2 ways you can take more responsibility for the past. Step up, keep stepping up, keep doing bioenergetics daily. You can do it. You can transcend your background. You can transcend your past without even really having to fight for it so much. You just need to do the bio daily and keep going with it, and it will happen. I'll speak to you later.